What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Comically Boston. Today is episode 156, another beautiful Monday here in June in Boston. And my Boston Celtics are currently 2-0 in the NBA Finals. 2 more wins to go until we're champions. Game 1 was the other night. Kristaps Porzingis has 20. Jaylen Brown had 22. Porzingis hadn't played most of the playoff series, so to see him come back and the energy that the Garden fed off of him coming in was unbelievable. Reminded me of like when we checked in Taco Fall a couple seasons ago for any Boston fans out there. And then game 2 was all Drew Holiday. We're up 2-0. Portnoy was in the building. I believe Travis Scott was in the building. There was other famous people in the building. Just super cool to see. But that's not why you guys are here. You guys aren't basketball fans. You guys are movie and nerdum fans. Of course, Deadpool and Wolverine around the corner. But also some other movies around the corner that I'm thinking about seeing. So a bunch of new movie posters came out this week, so let's go through them. Blink Twice, Zoe Kravitz's directorial debut starring her husband, Channing Tatum. That trailer, I remember the first time I seen it, it looked crazy. So I'm interested in this one, to see Channing Tatum in this kind of role where he's charming, but also like gonna have this dark side to him, because this movie seems a little creepy, little blood on that Polaroid in that picture. That girl's face doesn't look like she's having a great time, but blink twice if you're having a great time or something like that, or wherever it, are you having a good time? Blink twice. You know? But also coming out this summer, Alien Romulus, also coming out August 16th, and people were joking online that this picture looks like the cover to Cherry, that Tom Holland movie, where he's like a bald former military guy and he's going through like robbing banks or something like that. I never saw Cherry, but the poster did look awfully similar. But Alien Romulus, the most interesting part to me about this movie is I thought this was going to be set after the most recent Alien movie, which was what, Alien Covenant or something in 2017. But no, this is set between Alien and Aliens, right? So between Alien 1 and 2. So this is technically going to be set in the 70s sometime, early 80s, late 70s, I think. So I don't believe we'll see a de-aged Sigourney Weaver Ripley, but Kaylee Spaney in this movie kind of looks like maybe Ripley's mother. But Ripley was in the first movie and the second movie, so I don't know. Maybe Ripley's child? I don't know. I really don't know. But also, coming out pretty damn soon, a movie called Bike Riders, starring Austin Butler, Jodie Comer, and Tom Hardy. Great little cast there. That looks super interesting to me. I believe that comes out in June, later this month. And Tom Hardy is like the leader of a biker gang, and then his best friend slash brother, I think, is Austin Butler. And then Jodie Comer is the love interest to Austin Butler. Austin Butler is one of the most handsome guys in Hollywood right now, and I'm a sucker for a good love story, and I kind of like Jodie Comer as well, so those two love story, motorcycles, Tom Hardy, I'm in, you know, pretty easy going for me. I'm a pretty easy to get into a movie kind of guy, you know what I mean, so it is what it is. But next up on my list, we're going to be talking about Glenn Powell, because Glenn Powell has been on a run between Top Gun Maverick. He did Devotion with Jonathan Majors last year. I know Jonathan Majors isn't great news these days, so that movie didn't do great, but it was still a decent movie, and he was also in that. And then he did, with Sydney Sweeney, he did Anyone But You, that rom-com. And then he's doing an action film coming out this summer, very soon, July 17th, I believe, is the first IMAX experience, as you can see, with Glenn Powell and Daisy Edgar-Jones, Anthony Ramos, Lee Isaac Chung. But Twisters is coming out. I loved the original Twister, so I'm curious to see how far it's come to see that movie and see how different it is. But coming up in July, that will be fun. But just came out over the weekend on Netflix, and I watched it last night, so stay tuned for a movie review coming this week. Hitman with Glenn Powell and Adria Aronya. Those two have chemistry oozing out of them, right? Like, the whole time, like, and it's really a showcase of Glenn Powell's acting chops, because he gets to play all these different roles, and he's supposed to be what these people think a hitman is. He's not a real hitman. He's a cop posing as a hitman, trying to get these people, you know, to arrest these people that are trying to kill their spouses or whoever they're trying to kill, and they think that hitmen are real. And this is supposed to be like, hitmen aren't real, but I'm the guy that has to make them think that a hitman is real. So he plays all these different versions of a hitman, and you really get to see the range of Glenn Powell, which I was pleasantly shocked by the range that this man has. I've always thought he was a good actor, but every role that I've seen him, he's just kind of been this muscly, handsome, charming guy. This, he gets to be kind of a nerd, and then also charming, but then also like Russian and New Orleans and covered in tattoos, no tattoos, some tattoos, you know, like suited up, weird wigs, you know, like it's cool to see him like this in this one movie where he gets to play all these different characters, and it's hilarious. One's Tanner, one's Ron, one's Gary, you know, like, so funny to see. But then once he meets the lady there, ooh, it takes over, and I loved it. So, can't recommend enough. You wait for the movie review coming out later this week. I'll talk in more depth about it. But that's out on Netflix right now. Go check it out. I honestly wish I saw it in theaters, though, because I think I would have loved it even more. So if it's playing in a theater near you, go check it out. You know, you might really enjoy it. But moving on to some more sour news in the television realm. A show that I really like called Tokyo Vice has been canceled after 2 seasons. And at least canceled for now is what the rumor said. I don't know if it will be for good. The 2 seasons that we had were pretty good and kind of summed up a story. But I would love to see these characters come back. But I wouldn't want to see them come back for no reason, right? So go get your story, figure out where these characters went, and if you have a good story, then tell season 3. Don't just put it out just to put it out just because, oh, numbers, we want to keep it moving. Elgort Ansel, I think is his name. He's phenomenal. He plays Jake-san or something like that. And then Watanabe over there is fucking tremendous too. What a great show. If you're into like Yakuza, Japanese stuff, phenomenal show. Go check out Tokyo Vice on HBO Max now. Or Max. I've been calling it HBO Max since the beginning, so I'm sorry to the people that are like, this jackass, it's Max. Also coming out on Max, next week we'll be covering House of the Dragon comes out, and I cannot wait to see Season 2. Season 1 ended, and it was just about at the peak of like some chaos, and I think Season 2 is going to be chaos. You know, dragons fighting dragons, and more dragons should show up. There's this other poster here of Maelys, which I believe is Queen Rhaenys' dragon. But I don't remember her dragon having horns like this. That dragon looks terrifying. Yeah, Fire Will Reign, Season 2. I'm hyped for the House of the Dragon. It's such a good show. It really is. Also, came out over the last week. I did a trailer reaction to it, and nobody watched it. So go check out my trailer breakdown reaction, kind of talking about details I see throughout the trailer for Venom: The Last Dance coming out in October with Tom Hardy. It actually is a pretty damn good trailer. So if you haven't, you know, slight spoilers for the trailer, there's a Venom horse in it. So if you're Team Venom Horse and you're Team Big Cam, go check out my breakdown and my trailer reaction to Venom: The Last Dance. But come on, you know, like, watch those videos for me. You guys, 1,000 of you watched Atlas, a J-Lo movie review, but you can't watch that video? Come on, do a guy a favor. Other news around movies is the new Hunger Games movie will be coming November 20th, 2026. It will be titled Sunrise on the Reaping, and it will be based on the second reaping, I believe is what it said, and it's going to be, or a second quarterly quell or something like that, and it's said that it's going to base on Haymitch winning the games, and Haymitch was Woody Harrelson's character in the original 4 Hunger Games. So I don't know if this is going to be, I think it said it was set 40 years after the previous movie. So Haymitch wins the games as an old-ass man, right? Because he was already kind of old by the time that Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson were winning the games in the 4th movie. You know what I mean? Like, so 40 years from there, so what, he's an 80-year-old man, he's going to win the games? I don't know how that's going to work, but I have watched the other 5 Hunger Games movies, so when that comes out, I'll probably have to check it out. It was also a big week for Star Wars, right? The showrunner for The Acolyte, Leslie Headland, says that she wants to make a Knights of the Old Republic live-action project, and that sent the internet into a little bit of a swirl because people really love the Knights of the Old Republic. Apparently, it was a video game back in the day. I didn't get the chance to play it when I was younger. I knew vaguely of it, but this picture here, he's like half Mandalorian, half Sith, but with a purple and red lightsaber. I don't know, that picture right there alone, I would be interested. But the Knights of the Old Republic video game, apparently there's some die-hard, ride or dies for this game. So, like, I mean, I wish there was almost just a remastered version of this game so I could play it modern day, because obviously I didn't have a PS2 back then, so I didn't get to play that type of game. It didn't come out on GameCube. I'm sorry, my parents were poor, didn't buy me cool shit. I'm only able to have cool shit now because I'm an adult and I get to buy my own shit, like Legos. Like, once you become an adult and you have your own money, you can do whatever the fuck you want with your money, right? But, that showrunner of The Acolyte, I have been really liking The Acolyte. So far, episode 1 and 2 breakdown on the channel now. Episode 3 will be coming out Tuesday tomorrow, so Wednesday there will be a breakdown for that. Stay tuned this week for that. But the cast so far, Mandela Stenberg, Daphne Keane, the Jord Fandor, I think is his name, and then Amanda Stenberg's evil twin, May, her little helper there in the top right. I really like the cast so far. And then this dude in the helmet with like the weird cracks and the red glow, but like the teeth. I'm dying to find out who's underneath this mask and like who this character is, just because he looks so menacing. I'm like, okay, cool, like who is this guy? I'm dying. But moving on from Star Wars a little bit, diving back into some Marvel news. Avengers 5 may have found a new director in Shawn Levy, Deadpool Wolverine director. So this has been in the works for a while. We thought maybe it was going to be Kang Dynasty. Now Jonathan Majors is out. Maybe they're pivoting, not going to be Kang Dynasty. Even if they are going to do Kang Dynasty, it will be a different Kang, maybe a Coleman, what was his name? Coleman Domingo, maybe a John David Washington, Denzel's son. But the reports so far coming out about Avengers 5 is that there will be about 60 Marvel superheroes in it. Characters that we know. And then some people went through and tried to name a bunch. And it's actually not that hard to name 60 characters that we like in the MCU. But what will be hard is to each give them story moments and arcs that are important to these characters and not just throw them in there for the sake of having them in there. But if they're banking that Shawn Levy they want to do this job, maybe that's a vote of confidence on Deadpool and Wolverine. And then speaking of Deadpool and Wolverine, obviously this is another new poster, but they came out with a new poster just this morning right before I started filming for a Screen X 4DX new poster with they're walking out of fire, they're both set on fire and dog pool's running out of that fire. I hope the doggy's okay. I don't know if the dog has regenerative healing like the two of them do. But the fire in the background, the 4DX, and Deadpool and Wolverine cuddling up next to each other in this 4DX poster. I'm really dying to see this movie, man. Like, I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun to see these two different but similar characters, right? Because Wolverine's kind of a hard ass and badass. Deadpool's a badass, but he's also the merc with the mouth, right? So he's always talking shit, and he's funny, and he's kind of childish. But then he also is the killer, right? Like the swordsman, he does badass action, but he's quirky and he's funny. Where Wolverine's more growling, violent, fuck you, Bob, like he's more angry. To see them next to each other and then, right, like can't kill each other. They both have the same type of healing factor, right? So Wolverine slices off Deadpool's arm, it grows back. Deadpool slices a giant cut across his chest, it heals back. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be impossible for these two to kill each other. So I'm assuming they just go at it and then eventually realize that this is pointless and then they have to work together. So I'm in love with this. But this movie's going to have crazy Easter eggs because there was a little slight trailer that got dropped the other day that had a few new shots in it. This was one of them. Legs of what people are guaranteeing is Lady Deadpool. Now, is Lady Deadpool going to be Taylor Swift or who I think it's going to be, Ryan Reynolds' wife. But then it hit me. Maybe he had Ryan Reynolds' wife, Blake Lively, do the body motion, and then they're gonna put Ryan Reynolds' face on Blake Lively's face, right? So we have Blake Lively's action and hair, but then have a CG Ryan Reynolds face as a lady. I don't know, that would be really funny to me. But it would also just be really funny to see Blake Lively as Deadpool, you know, giving Ryan Reynolds Deadpool smack back and forth. Like, I love their chemistry with each other, so I think that would be perfect casting. But clearly Lady Legs there and Lady Deadpool, so another Deadpool we're gonna get in this. That's awesome. And then this minivan shot of them driving through what is the desert, and you see that giant ring behind them. Looks like the ring that showed up in Infinity War or Endgame. I think it was maybe both, but Infinity War for sure. And Tony Stark and Spider-Man get caught with Doctor Strange in space on, and that's the kind of ring that they're on. So maybe after Tony Stark dusts these guys, when they dusted, this is where they showed up in the void. So maybe we have a bunch of Thanos army in the void here, because look at how many crashed rings are in the background too. So I don't know, maybe a Titan got what is it, voided? I don't know. I haven't seen Loki in a long time. Coming up pretty soon here in August, there's going to be a D23 Expo, and all of these titles are possible titles that might be announced at that Expo. Shang-Chi 2, Moon Knight Season 2, a Young Avengers project, Ghost Rider. I would love to see Ghost Rider back. The Mighty Thor. I would rather see the Thor, the Battle of the Gods, or something like that in the other titles I've seen. But hey, if you're going to go with the Mighty Thor, give us a Thor 5 announcement. I'm in for it. Midnight Suns, that would be dope, but we also need to get Blade out before that, and Moon Knight Season 2, I believe. Doctor Strange 3 in Doctor Strange The Nexus of Nightmares. That's a pretty good title. And then Avengers Forever. I'm not in love with that title, but hey, if we're going to change it from Avengers Kang Dynasty to Avengers Forever, I ain't mad at it, but I think it should be maybe an Avengers versus X-Men. That might be really cool. I don't know. But just to wrap up the show a little bit, we have a little bit of video game news. There was a story trailer that dropped last week for Dune Awakening the game, and Paul Atreides is apparently in the game. It doesn't look like Timothée Chalamet, but he goes, "I'm Paul Atreides, and this game is about you and what would happen if I didn't become the Kizak Haderach or whatever." So I believe you're going to be like the Paul Atreides, and it's going to be what happened if Paul's mother had a daughter instead of the son, you know, and did what she was told to do by the Reverend Mothers. But this is what Paul looks like in the game, and I'm like, damn, this actor kind of looks pretty damn good for Paul in the game. So I don't know if you play as Paul or if you make your own Paul. Either way, the game does look pretty damn badass, so I might have to get that. But another Star Wars game coming out very, very soon in August called Star Wars Outlaws is 100% on my list, and I am totally going to buy this one. The Empire is going to be like police in GTA. They chase you. If you kill a stormtrooper and start committing crimes, there is 6 levels of severity, right? So you're gonna have like 5 stars, but like 6 stars in this, and then you're gonna get slowly hunted down by death troopers, and potentially other top threats get sent out at the highest levels. So like, you know, death troopers are gonna hunt you down, but you can also go into space. The spaceships look pretty great. The action with the TIE fighters. So like, you're gonna have a ship, but you're also gonna be on land. Then there was also a shot in the trailer that you can see your K-Vess is going to be at a poker type table, gambling against Lando Calrissian, right? Like, so what time are we set in here? Like, this is so cool. Like, we're going to be an outlaw, bounty hunter type of deal, going through like the Badlands of Star Wars and being this outlaw. Like, so cool. I've always wanted to be a scoundrel in Star Wars, but also, later today, I might go see Bad Boys 2. We're still kind of moving in. My buddy Bonad's down the hallway now. Me and him are roommates now, so this is cool. I got my best buddy living in the house with me instead of women that hated my soul and made me hate myself. So now I've been in a better mood, and I've been able to do more, and we're still getting the house set up, but, you know, we're getting shit done slowly but surely, so we got to go out and do some stuff today, but we might go see Bad Boys Ride or Die. Bad Boys, what you do, what you gonna do? It looks really good. It's having great reviews so far. The directors are two young guys. They did some stuff on Miss Marvel that was awesome. They did the Bad Boys for Life movie as well. I really liked that one. I've done a Bad Boys rewatch recently, so stay tuned for those movie reviews because I've been watching those and I've really been enjoying them. Bad Boys 2, this character of Reggie at the front door. Marcus, who's at the door? How old are you? Shit, you look 30, you know, like this poor kid right here, this young kid in the red shirt in the middle in Bad Boys 2. He's now like in Bad Boys 3, the Bad Boys for Life, and I believe he's also in Ride or Die, which is just hilarious, man. Really cracks me up, those movies. Martin Lawrence is one of the funniest dudes alive, and honestly, Will Smith's pretty badass as well. He is just a movie star, you know, he just is. I'm still mad at him for slapping Chris Rock, but hey, can't hold grudges. But stay tuned for more. I hope you guys watched this whole video, and if you did, please like, comment, subscribe, comment below which of these things that I talked about today are you most excited about. Are you disappointed Tokyo Vice got canceled? Are you going to see Bike Riders Blink Twice, Twisters? Have you seen Hitman on Netflix yet? Drop some movie recommendations down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys would like to see, what you want to see me do, what you want to see next on the channel. Go check out my Star Wars Acolyte breakdown, another one coming Wednesday. Next week, probably next Monday's Comically Boston, will be a House of the Dragon, because I believe those come out on Sunday, so Monday might be my House of the Dragon breakdown, but I might have an early section of news like I do normally on Mondays. But stay tuned, because tons of stuff keeps happening, more and more news every week, and it seems like I always got something to talk about. I'm waiting for a dead week here so I can talk about something normal, or just like some personal stuff, but like, hey, news keeps on coming, so I hope you guys enjoy these videos. Subscribe if you're new. My name's Big Cam. If you want to follow my other social medias, link it down in the description below. Hit that bell if you don't want to miss future videos, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one.